Philly had a Philly shirt on. Where's your Michael shirt?
No city that says Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
What's the big challenge that Cal will present to you guys?
They're a really athletic team, and I think they've averaged like 103 plays in the last 2 games. That's a lot of plays to run. So, I mean, I think we're in really good shape, and we're starting to be able to rotate guys a lot better. So I don't think the plays are really going to bother us that much. But, I mean, they're a really athletic team, really good players. So, I mean, I think it'll be a good challenge.
How do you get ready for that kind of pace, for that kind of rapid fire pace that they're going to bring, Michael?
Just practice it. I mean, when we do scout work and when we do go against the twos, they're just going to be jet. They're just going to be going play after play, whether they complete passes or not. The coach is going to put the ball on the ground, and we got to run back and get set.
Is there anything that stands out about what they do besides their pace? I mean, what do you have in your mind right now when I say Cal offense? Are you thinking Sonny Dykes, Louisiana Tech? What are you thinking?
A lot of lateral stuff, kind of like Buffalo did. A lot of stuff on the edges, quick passes. So for the D-line, it's going to be a lot of get off the ball, retrace, and go run to the ball.
One of your jobs as a lineman, obviously, is to get to the quarterback. But when you see a true freshman on the other side of the ball, does it give you a little bit more, I don't know, motivation to get there because it's a little bit easier to confuse a younger guy?
Yeah, are one of them a true freshman?
They're quarterbacks.
Oh, their quarterback's a true freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, as a true freshman, you can be really athletic and all that, but I think it's easier to get flustered and to kind of just get a little nervous, especially when you see a D-line closing in. And I feel like our D-line does a really good job applying pressure to the quarterback. So hopefully we can make him feel that.
You've gotten contributions from a lot of the young guys, Joey Bosa and Michael Gill. Has their progress surprised you? That they're talented, but to be able to get in the rotation so quickly?
No, because, I mean, I see it day to day, them working on the techniques and stuff. So you can see them building and see them being more and more ready for games. Like Michael Hill was a lot more ready for this game than he was for Buffalo, and I think he's going to be a lot more ready for Cal than he was for San Diego State. So Joey's coming along really well. You can see him each game, better technique, better effort, having more of an impact each game. Same with Michael.
The defense that you saw watching film against San Diego State, is that more the defense that you're used to seeing at Ohio State?
Yeah. I mean, I think we try to live up to the name the Silver Bullets, and I think we're starting to really do that. We're flying around, we're aggressive. Guys aren't overly concerned about missing tackles because they know there are going to be 10 guys flying to the ball after them. So I think that's what we needed, and especially with the kind of speed we have on defense this year, is we can't be just feeling our way through it. We have to go and know that guys are coming behind us.
Michael, do you think Adolphus is going to be okay? What's your feeling on his injury?
I think he should be fine. I mean, just treatment. That's the biggest thing, is just being smart about it. And I mean, when you don't have class, you should be in here, and that's how I think the guys are starting to treat their injuries.
The bonus of that, Steve Miller got a taste of what it's about. I mean, talk about how much different he'll be this week than he was a week ago.
Well, Steve, I mean, he comes out to practice every day hard, and he uses techniques every day. So when he went in the game, no one was worried. Everyone knew Steve can pass rush. He's really good at pass rushing. He's really good at just doing his job. So that was really exciting. His first 2 plays were production, and so hopefully this week he's got a little bit more confidence. So I mean, more confidence, more speed.
You had a groin injury last year, like Adolphus does this year. What advice can you give him, or how tough is it to come back from that particular injury? I'll
just say be smart. Don't try to force anything, and just make sure he gets a lot of treatment. Because I mean, if you don't get enough treatment with that groin, then what happened to me could happen. But I think he's doing a good job staying in the training room and just getting healthy.
Did you rush back last year, Mike?
Yeah, because I didn't really. I don't know. I felt like it was going to be a big year for me, so I didn't really want to sit out at all. And I feel like I rushed a little bit.
Michael,
When you
explain?
face
Go ahead, Laurie.
When you face an up-tempo offense, is there anything you can do within the rules to slow them down, or do you just kind of have to take it?
It's just like little stuff like get off the pile slower, stem around a little bit, make checks and stuff. I mean, you can't really – I mean, I think they were doing in the NFL, they would fall down and fake an injury. I mean, we're not really about that, but – I mean, it's just a little stuff like you want to confuse them, so maybe they have to call a timeout instead of just running it down the field.
Philly was telling us that Kenny is much more of a trash talker on the field than Braxton. Is he that way in practice? Do you hear it from him in practice?
Yeah, it's every now and then I'll be talking trash to the offensive line in practice, and Kenny will stick up for him and and he's pretty vocal about it. I didn't know he trash talked in games, but in practice he's a funny guy.
What's he like? What's he like?
He's a funny guy. I don't know, he'll like point at me and he'll say something. I don't even remember what he says, but he'll point at me and say something, and I'll say something back, and then we go and he'll say something after the play. He's just a funny guy, but then because he does his job, he can joke around and then completely lock in for the play, and then just be joking around again.
So
Michael,
it's
is it
intelligent. It's intelligent type trash talk. I mean, he has a point to make, or he studied you. I mean, just talk. I mean, is that what you're talking about? Does he go to the bone?
I mean, he's not trying to cut deep. He's not trying to make me question myself. But I mean, we're just messing around in practice, just trying to make it a little lighter, make practice a little more fun.
Michael,
Has he
is
ever
it-
made
is there
you
any-
laugh during
Yeah.
the practice?
Yeah, I mean, every time, I'm not getting like mad about his trash talk. I'd laugh every time he says something. But I don't know, that makes the play more fun because he's saying something. I'm like, all right, well now I got to sack him, and just go a little harder.
Is there any way that a defender can fake an injury and make it look good? Because it seems like whenever guys do it, it's like the worst fake ever. Guys just fall over dead for no reason.
I feel like in soccer they actually
in
have
soccer.
time and practice to practice faking injuries. So I don't know. I've never tried to fake an injury. Try to fake not being injured. So it's just so I don't really know how that works.
But there have been some defensive people in college football who I think don't like this whole up-tempo offense trend, and they may think it's not the best thing for the game. I don't know. What do you think of this trend in college football?
It's a challenge. I mean, as a defensive player, yeah, you hate it because they just run it and go and go and go, and it's really tiring, and you don't have time to bring in subs, so you just got the 11 players on that field for however many plays just flying, and especially with those quick passes, it wears you out. But I think it's good because I think it makes the guys on that field have to be the toughest guys. I mean, people don't like it because it's hard. You don't just get to ignore something because it's hard.
Michael,
So-
two and done, folks. When you think back to the game last year, they broke the 2 long runs on you guys, and then the change from them to now. Do you feel like that the Cal game a year ago was maybe a little bit of a turning point for you all as a defense, executing basics, to where you are now executing it? You know, even Urban said you guys are executing at a pretty high level. Was that game? Did that serve any role in that transformation or that growth?
That was a big one because, I mean, there were a couple games last season that were pivotal for the defense, but the Cal game really made us, I think, or made the coaches make more of an emphasis on tackling and leverage. So now you can see, I think in these last 2 games, they like the biggest plays were like 15 yards or something like that. Like we haven't allowed big plays because that's just the biggest emphasis. And in our first 2 or 3 games last year, it was like we were playing good defense, and then it would be 70-yard run or 50-yard pass or something like that. So I think, yeah, it was a big. The coaches felt like they needed to put more of an emphasis on stuff, I guess, after that game.
Michael, is this early production from you just purely about your health, or are you a different player in other ways?
I don't know. I feel like we spent a lot of time on technique this year, so my technique's a lot better. I'm obviously healthy this year, and then I guess another year under my belt. I've gotten stronger, I've gotten faster, all that kind of stuff, and then I also have really good players around me, and not like I did last year, but I didn't play as much last year. So I mean, you got 4 pass rushers, and all 4 of them can rush the passer. I mean, I'm going to get lucky sometimes and get the bullet while the other guys are forcing the quarterback to me. So, I mean, I think that the guys that I have around me are really helping production, and hopefully I'm helping their production by forcing the ball towards them.
Thank you.
Is that an expression you guys use in the D-line room, get the bullet?
Yeah, sometimes when we blitz a lot and they don't have enough people to block us, someone's going to get the bullet.
That's what the coaches say, get the
Yeah.
bullet? Thank you.
All right, yeah, good.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you.